Here we have one scripture saying that ask and it shall be given to you. Whatever you ask, you will get. And then in the same Bible, you have a scripture saying you ask, but you do not receive. Is this a contradiction? Of course, it will appear that way to those who do not know the Bible in its entirety. It must always be taken in context, not just a verse, the chapter or a few verses before and after, but also it must be taken in its entirety from Genesis to Revelation. Because there are certain things in the Old Testament that will verify or confirm the New Testament and vice versa. Now, this being said, listen to this carefully. There are many that still think that God does not want you to obtain wealth or riches. The scripture does not say that. Now, look at this. Remember Job? God was expressing his satisfaction with Job for being a good servant by following his commands. As a result, Job was prosperous financially. Job was tested, and if God objects to wealth, why would he double Job's possession? Number 2, Abraham. Abraham was wealthy. It's quite interesting to think that we are here today because our ancestors lived and walked the earth when Abraham or Jesus walked, or else we wouldn't exist. So is it possible that even Jesus' descendants are here and we don't know about it? Or Abraham's? The Jews are still here? Just something to think about. But look at this. Finally, in this lesson is Solomon. You see, you can ask God for anything you want, but God knows the outcome of what would happen if he gave you everything that you desire. If your heart is in the right place with God, whatever you ask will be in line with God's will, so you'll be granted. Now, here is Solomon, the wealthiest who have ever lived. Solomon asked for a discerning heart to judge the people, to be righteous in his leading and judging of the people. And what did God say to him? As a result of what you've asked me, you did not seek to have your enemies destroyed, and finally you did not seek wealth. Because of that, I'm going to give you more than you could ever possibly need. That is how God does things. So if you ask for wealth, God knows your heart, whether it will turn you away from him or not. I won't say draw you closer, because then it's the money that's being drawn closer, but just you will find more fulfillment in possession. That's why wealthy people today are so miserable, and there are people that are just getting by or poor, but yet they're so content and living a peaceful life that a lot of wealthy people today cannot find peace. So this is what this lesson is about. Some ask and they receive. Some ask and they don't receive. That is 100% based on the intent of your heart. I'm Pastor Rich, Walking Ministries Online, and I will see you soon.